Good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. I'm going to share with you why there are medicine shortages in U.S. hospitals. So these hospitals need supplies, and this supplies could include things like insulin, cancer drugs, bags of saline, all the way down to, things like catheters. Everything you see in a hospital has to be bought. There's various companies who have these supplies. Let's take Hospital One, and maybe they need 100 insulin bags, and they'll negotiate a price of $10 per bag of insulin. Another hospital would also go to the supplier, and they negotiate a price of $2 a bag. Maybe they're going to buy 200 units. And then another hospital will go to the same insulin company. Maybe they're going to buy 10,000 units, and maybe they negotiate a price of $5 a bag. Each of these hospitals have negotiated individual prices with these insulin companies. So what ended up happening, these hospitals said, why don't we get together and buy, in this case, insulin bags directly from the supplier together? So in order to do that, they brought in a broker, and the broker was called a GPO, Group Purchasing Organization. And they say, hey, look, we need 100 bags, Hospital One. Hospital 2 said, we need 200 bags. And Hospital 3 said, we need 300 bags. So the total, the GPO was going to purchase 500 bags of insulin. And in return, the insulin price was set at, let's say, $8 a bag. So they pooled their needs to this supplier. So bottom line, the GPO served as their middleman, and he did this across the board for those cancer drugs, saline, or catheters. This GPO became the single agent getting whatever supplies the hospitals needed from suppliers. The GPO would sign agreements with these people, long-term agreements, short-term agreements, and these were contracts, right? So these contracts were signed, and the GPO actually owned the relationships over time with these people. Initially, they were servicing the hospitals here. They were helping the hospitals get a lower rate. Over time, the GPO is controlling the supply of nearly every item: bedpans, pillowcases, sheets, drugs, ventilators. Everything you can imagine is coming from these suppliers into the hospitals. In fact, the GPO could do preferential deals. Maybe the guy was going to take him on a vacation, right? All sorts of backroom deals started occurring. These GPOs sort of flipped the game. And what ended up happening was the GPOs started dictating price and supply because they controlled all of these relationships. So the GPOs would tell the hospitals what to do. In fact, at every hospital is a person who's running the hospital. The GPO would give kickbacks for accepting the price that they were saying. Special hotels, vacations. So literally the GPO was buying the hospital administrators so they would accept the price that they were giving. The GPO could control supply. And if you remember basic macroeconomics, he who controls supply controls price. Now, how does this fit into the high cost of healthcare? Today, there are only 3 major GPOs. The 3 major insurance companies bought the 3 GPOs. What is the interconnection between a GPO and an insurance company? You pay the insurance company some dollar per month. This is called your premium. I'm paying like $800 a month. Let's say that's what it is in 2023. In 2024, they may want to raise this to $900 a month. How are they able to justify that? Insurance companies scare you into justifying their higher premium by telling you the price could be very high tomorrow. God forbid, get into a hospital. Oh my God, the price of the cancer drugs, the price of the insulin, the price of the saline, these things are going up. If you don't have insurance, you're going to have to pay for this out of pocket. And you go, oh my God, I'm willing to pay you $900 a month next year. In order to do this, the insurance companies, 3 of the major insurance companies now bought 3 of the major GPOs. They can go to the GPOs, and there's a nudge, nudge, wink, wink, their own companies. The GPOs now are incentivized to keep the price high because that's how they make more profit. If they go to a hospital administrator and say, hey, look, the price is now $90, supply is going to be really tight. So the hospital administrator pays the GPO more money. So the game between the GPOs and the hospital administrators keeps the price high. The high price of all of these supplies is what the insurance companies use to make you say, oh my God, I'm willing to pay higher for the premium. God forbid I go to a hospital, the price is going to be so high. And how do you get price high? Well, you need shortages. More shortages, you get more increase in price. That's basic macroeconomics. The main thing you should leave away with is group purchasing organizations are controlling the supply of everything from suppliers into hospitals. There's an incentive here for them to create shortages. And with those shortages, they can decide which suppliers they want to work with. Because on the back end, these suppliers are doing back and deals with GPOs. And by the way, no one can get access to these contracts that they have. A couple of days ago, the FDA allowed unapproved cancer drugs coming from China. So China is also over here to supply cancer drugs through GPOs to a hospital. Who created this shortage of U.S. cancer drugs? So they're U.S. manufacturers here. They're not able to, for some reason, give enough cancer drugs. And so the GPOs went to Chinese companies and they got the FDA to bring that in because of this urgency. Oh my God, we don't have enough cancer drugs. So the level of corruption that's going on the back end and the opacity of it, which means there's very little transparency, is what's allowing all these shenanigans to take place. But anyway, tomorrow we'll finish our series on why are there medicine shortages in the United States by looking at how we break this up. And that'll give you details on my policy for healthcare for really reducing costs to increase quality. Thank you, everyone. I hope this helped. Thank you.